Training for your next big race and not sure about your nutrition? Well, Precision Fuel and Hydration are sponsoring the show this month, and their free online planner has you covered. It calculates exactly how much carbs, sodium and fluid you need to smash your goals. Me and the team at Inside Running Podcast swear by the 90 gram resealable gel to have on our long runs. It's been a game changer for us. If you want to crush your race day strategy, hit the link in the show notes, try the planner and grab 15% off your first order with the code IR-SPRING 2025. That's IR-Spring 2025. Hit the link, grab your discount and crush those goals. Now on to the episode. Welcome to episode number 405 of the Inside Running Podcast. Thanks for being with us for another week. Jam-packed episode. This one, we've got the US trials to talk about, the UK trials, some road racing over in the US. Had Izzy Bat-Doyle dominating over there. New South Wales road relays, some whispers, some listener questions, and a big name co-host who we'll get to in a second. Also, Croaks, I think we've got Ashley Campbell, the expert product line manager from Nike. She caught up with Moose during the week, and you're going to hear a bit of Moose and Ashley at the end of this episode for a bit of an interview. Welcome to you, Croaks. Let's just keep our head down this week, episode 405. Let's just get one on the board. No controversy, please.
Yeah, let's. Hopefully we don't get any angry emails this week, Brady.
I had a couple of bullets flying in our direction last week, which people are going to be listening to this going, what? There was nothing controversial, but there can always be something controversial happening in the Inside Running podcast world. So we're being directed. Keep your heads down. Nice, smooth episode. Just get a co-host who's not going to cause you any issues.
What was funny, Brady, is Moose wasn't even on last week's episode. He's the one that's normally causing the controversy.
He's directing some of the feedback as well. But our other co-host does know Moose very well, and she knows the structure of the show very well because she's filled in many times. She came 23rd at the 2020 Olympic Marathon, which occurred in 2021. Ellie Pashley, welcome back to the Inside Running Podcast.
Thanks, Brady. Thanks, Brad. Good to be back.
Joining us from a holiday destination as well, Ellie, up in Noosa, we think.
Yeah. We're just up here for a week, just escaping the last of the Victorian winter. So, yeah, it's so nice. It was 24 degrees today, sunny, no wind. It's just, it's awesome. Every time I come here, I'm like, oh, why do we live in Victoria?
Yeah. Moose was up there last week. You're up there this week. Did you guys get some sort of 2 weeks for the price of one deal or something? What's going on? Surf Coast got it pretty good.
Yeah, I know. We booked this a while ago, and then I think they booked theirs last minute, and they didn't realize we were coming this week. And we said later we should have actually coordinated that because that would have been good entertainment for the 3-year-olds for the week, having each other. But yeah, that's right. We see enough of each other in Aries and Anglesey. We probably don't need to holiday together as well.
How's the form, Ellie? Coming back? We jogged together probably a month ago, and you're starting to get fit then. Where you at the moment?
Yeah, going all right. So just building pretty slowly. So Bobby's 4 months old now. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting a bit of running in now, and I feel quite good on the easy jogs, but every time I do a session, I'm reminded that I've still got a long way to go. So yeah, fitness is coming back. It's starting to feel a bit more natural, I guess, running a bit less clunky than it was a month or two ago. But yeah, long way to go, and a lot of strength. I still feel really weak, so I think I've got to keep going to the gym, and that's often, I found that last time that was kind of the last thing to get back, the strength and speed and power, which not that I ever really had that anyway, but it's well and truly gone now.
And has 2 kids versus 1 changed the how easy it is to train?
Yeah, it's been okay so far, but I haven't I don't know how the whole doubles thing is going to work. so with Tiggy, I used to just do my doubles while she slept on the treadmill at home. But yeah, this time I'm not sure how that's going to work because she doesn't sleep anymore. Our treadmill's outside in the shed. Yeah, I'm going to have to work that out down the track because Jose works until quite late at night. So yeah, we'll see. But it's been okay so far. It's definitely more challenging, and you feel a little bit more guilty leaving the house, leaving your partner with 2 kids as opposed to 1. But yeah, so far I've been able to get my runs in the morning pretty easily, and we'll just have to kind of I think it changes all the time too, so we'll just work it out as we go.
What about like differences and things that are similar from coming back from childbirth, Ellie? Like, is there things that have stood out the second time around that you didn't have to navigate the first time?
My recovery, I'd say, has been fairly similar. I had another C-section this time, so I kind of knew what to expect. And I think, to be honest, last time I was quite fearful of coming back. I think it's just because it was also unknown. Whereas I feel like this time I was a little bit more confident in what I was doing and listening to my body, and kind of, I actually recovered a little bit better. This one wasn't an emergency C-section, and that actually has made a big difference with how I felt afterwards, physically. So I actually started running a little earlier this time, and then I've built up a bit more slowly. So I guess I learned a few things last time around. I probably got back into running every day a bit too soon last time, whereas this time I've spaced it out and incorporated a bit more cross training. And so far, touch wood, no injuries, but I'm riding that line, and I can tell that, like, building up at the start, I was just going day by day, and if I'd pull up a bit sore, I'd have a day or 2 off and then go again. You're always kind of pushing the limits, I guess, of what your body's ready for, but that's kind of what we do. So yeah, I'm gonna just have to be a bit careful with that for the next 12 months or so.
And do you have any races, like any goals over the next sort of 6 months or so that you'd like to get back for?
Not yet. I've been quite conscious of not picking races, only because I feel like that could make me push things a little too hard. I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting a bit antsy though, and I would maybe like to look at doing something. I don't think I'll be ready to run a marathon until next year, but I wouldn't mind doing some shorter races maybe towards the end of this year, maybe something at Melbourne Marathon Festival if I can get a spot. My dad actually had signed me up for the 10K ages ago in this father-daughter, father-son competition he has with his friends. So I think I'm actually registered for that. He didn't even tell me about it. I just got an email. But yeah, and then maybe Zatopek, or yeah, I'll have to see. But yeah, I think I'm probably maybe another couple of months off racing, but getting excited to get back out there.
Back to the track too. That's exciting. When was the last time you ran a track 10K?
It's been a while. Yeah. I think it's probably more just that the timing of that will be quite good. That will be, I had Bobby at the end of March, so I will have had a good 8 months or so to sort of recover and get back into it. And yeah, I might go back on that and decide that I'm not ready, because the track 10K is pretty, you can't hide anywhere in that. And since I did a track 10K, the standard has just gone through the roof, and the style of racing the last couple of years has been completely unsuited to me. Like, slowing down, speeding up, running 63-second last laps or whatever the girls have been doing. So I would get absolutely destroyed in a race like that. But I'm kind of curious to give it another go and see where I'm at.
Ali, do you feel like pressure in how fast or the expectation maybe to how quick you've got to come back, being like a professional athlete? And we've seen women, like high profile Australian marathoners, come back like exceptionally quick.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it as pressure. I think everybody has seen what Jess Stenson was able to do after both of her kids, but particularly in this most recent comeback after Ellie. And like, to me, I actually just think, well, that gives me confidence that maybe you can do that. And I've been, like, speak a lot with Jess, and she sent through her rebuild plan and stuff that she did after she had Ellie, and it's actually really interesting to read through, and it sort of in some ways gives you a little bit of confidence that if you're doing everything right through pregnancy, and your recovery goes okay, that maybe you can do that, which I know everybody is so different, and obviously Jess will acknowledge that she had to take risks because she had such a short time frame to try and qualify for Paris, so it is fairly high risk, a high risk approach, but I think most athletes are kind of willing to take those risks and they want to push the limits, and it's inspiring to me to see what people can do. It's probably a little bit dangerous. It could be dangerous in some ways, and I think I'm conscious of, even in my rebuilds post both babies, I haven't shared a lot of it on Strava, and part of that is that I'm just aware that everybody is so different, and that copying what other people do isn't necessarily the safest way to come back from having a baby. So I guess that's something we've got to be careful of, but I wouldn't say that I've viewed it as pressure. I think if anything, it's sort of exciting to see what you might be able to do in the first 12 months, 2 years.
And Ellie, New Balance, there's no, they're supportive in terms of they're not expecting you to perform by a certain time?
Nah, yeah, both times they've never said anything about that. They've been supportive and said, yep, just when you're ready, come back. And in the meantime, they haven't put any pressure on me around races. I mean, you probably internally, you put a little bit of that pressure on yourself. But part of that also is you just want to get back racing because you love it. And after having such a big chunk of time off, your motivation just goes through the roof. So yeah, I guess you're sort of managing that as well. But I definitely don't feel pressure from anybody else to get back into racing. It's all kind of my own drive, I guess.
Yeah, good. And I'm sure that drive is super high. As you said, professional athletes, Olympians, they're wired different, Croaks.
Certainly are.
You don't need other things to motivate you. You're internally motivated, Ali.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you do it because you love it as well. So you want to get back into it as quickly as possible. But I think also obviously you've really got to listen to your own body and realize that everybody does it a little bit differently. So I'm trying to do that as best I can.
Ellie, are you amazed at how much the sport has progressed in the last year or two? Especially from women's distance point of view. You look at the times that Ro's now running for 5K, and you've got a lot of girls now running well under 31 minutes for 10K, whereas back in 2019, where'd you run 31:20 at World Champs, and that was incredible. But the world has sort of moved on. Is that daunting, knowing that that's what you need to compete with now?
Yeah, it's crazy. In the last 5 years, and particularly, in the last 1 or 2 years, as you say, what those girls have to run to try and make the Australian team for World Champs in the 5K with what Rose, Georgia and Lyndon have run is just insane. It didn't seem like it was that long ago that you were getting on teams with a 15:20 something 5K time. So yeah, it's definitely daunting, and I don't know, the marathon as well has gone to a whole new level. So whether or not making teams is ever going to be in my wheelhouse again, I'm not sure, because I've certainly never run close to a lot of those times. But I mean, I'll have a go and see what happens, and I'm probably not going to be going near trying to qualify for a track 10K anytime soon, considering people are running sub 31 and still possibly not going to be in that 10K field at Tokyo. So I might stick to the marathon, but even that's crazy too. So I don't know. It's I don't like it. I don't even really know what it is. We've talked about this before. What's been the difference in the last few years with what are the girls doing differently in the 5K and 10K? And I don't have the answer to it, but they're just getting better and better.
All right, it's all sounding pretty positive. Do you want to take us to a training week, Ali? Started down in Ayers Inlet, finished in Brisbane, I think.
Yeah, yep. So the last probably 3 or 4 weeks have been fairly similar. So Jules has started coaching me again in the last few weeks, and we've kind of plateaued mileage, but we're starting to add some workouts back in. So Monday morning, I just had 8K easy with some drills and strides at the end. Drills and strides that's something I'm going to be really diligent with this time, because I feel like, yeah, you can tell how weak I am doing the drills. So that'll be a good little plyometric exercise to try and get me a bit stronger.
Do you change shoes for your drills and strides? And if you don't, what's your go-to shoe where you can go out for a run, but then feel good doing drills and strides?
Yeah, so usually I don't change shoes. I just I often actually wear pretty basic shoes for drills and strides that wouldn't feel good, like an 880, or particularly if I do it on a Monday, I often wear an 880 or a Hierro, which is the trail shoe. Every now and then I might change into my racing shoes, but I think to feel good doing drills and strides, I'd probably wear something like a Super Comp trainer, one that, like, kind of a plated training shoe, just to feel a little bit poppier. But I actually like doing them in slightly less poppy shoes. I think my psychology at the moment is just to help with that little bit more load through my legs and try and build strength in my calves and my feet where it's lacking a little bit, rather than relying on a really bouncy poppy shoe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would have been 880s.
You're doing, Ellie?
Oh, they're just like A skips, B skips, some sidestepping stuff. Although, to be honest, with the side steps, I get a little bit of a sore pelvis, which I think is just a post-baby coming back thing. If I go too hard on them or too explosive. And then like some, is it called like a triple extension? The kick things. What else do I do? High knees. And then just like some building strides. So I start kind of, 70, 80% and then try and get faster each one.
So would this be
it's basic
15 minutes worth of stuff, or like
Nah,
5 minutes?
less. Probably like 5 minutes of drills, and the strides probably only takes me 5 minutes as well.
Yeah.
My strides are pretty pathetic, but yeah, I'm trying to do the drills really well, like use them as a strength exercise and yeah, make sure I do them properly. That's probably the thing I've focused a fair bit on.
Yeah. Good.
Tuesday I just did 12K just out and back from home. I've been running mostly flat because I find I get a little bit sore if I run too many hills as well at the moment, and Sundays have been fairly hilly and far too fast for my current fitness. So then I try to keep my easy runs during the week nice and flat. So I basically just run out and back on the same road every day. Wednesday I had a workout, so it was 6 minutes threshold and then jog for 3 minutes and then a monofartlek. And I just did that again, kind of on the road near my house, which is partly sealed, partly gravel. I think my fresh was that's 342s. And then, yeah, the monofartlek, I'm not sure how far I ran or how fast I was running. It was a little bit variable depending on whether I was running up and down. But it's funny, I felt like I was running a lot faster in the monofartlek reps than I was in the threshold. But when I look at it, it's not that different for the ons there.
There was some low 3 minute stuff, 306, 312, 308, 310.
For the 15 seconds at the end.
They were the 30s, but the 15s, you got down to 303.
Yeah, it just takes me a while to get going as well. So maybe, yeah, towards the end I had a bit left. I actually pulled up a little bit sore from that though. And again, I think it's just that fast change of pace stuff I'm not great with yet. And that was the first time I'd actually done faster reps where I was pushing a little bit harder. So again, just a bit of like OP kind of soreness in my pubic bone, which, yeah, that just comes and goes. I just have to make sure that I don't let it get too bad.
They're the worst workouts for that though, aren't they? Like groin stuff and having to like stop start.
Yeah.
Better off just
speed
doing
up,
a
slow
40-minute tempo run.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm finding. Like the steady stuff is completely fine. As soon as I've added a bit of faster stuff since Jules has taken over, that's, when I pull up sore or really hilly, fast, long runs. Get me the downhills.
Coach has got to improve, Croaks.
Well, on your coach,
Shouldn't be setting it this early.
Yeah, well, on your coach, does he prescribe like heart rate for this session, or it's basically old school Steve Monaghetti, do monitor as hard as you can?
He'd be on the single threshold stuff, Croaks, I reckon, off Dan Nash. Watch this.
He doesn't prescribe any heart rate for a monofartlek. He just says monofartlek, and I just do it. And I wasn't floating my offs because I can't. My heart rate does not come down at all if I float at the moment. I have to actually come back to a jog. And I do threshold to heart rate though. So I've done lactate threshold testing in the lab, so I know what my heart rate threshold is, and I've been using that for all these workouts, which has been good. Day after that, I just did 10K easy, and I actually pulled up fine. I was worried I might be a bit sore after the Wednesday session, but I was fine. And then the next day I did 6 by 6 minutes. So I just went out and back along a road near my house, which you can get 6 minutes pretty flat. My heart rate did a really weird thing on the first rep. I don't know. Can you guys see my heart rate graph?
Just opening it now.
Yeah. So the first rep, which was my slowest rep, my heart rate shot up into the 180s. So my threshold, I try and sit them at around, my threshold's about 174, but I try and sit on around 170. And it's like 185, 186. And then I slowed down and it came down a bit, but only down to like 170. And then it sort of shot back up for the rest of the rep. So I wasn't sure what was going on there. I actually felt okay. So I thought it was either a glitch in my strap or I was having some kind of weird episode, which I've had in the past when I've been about to get really sick. So I was thinking,
that'd have to be a glitch, wouldn't it?
Well, this time I was like, I feel fine. So I'm just going to see what happens on the second rep. If it happens the same thing again, I might stop and just jog home. But if it's fine, I'll keep going. And the second rep was completely fine. So I don't know what that was about. The only thing that made me think it wasn't a glitch was when I slowed down, my heart rate actually did come down. So it sort of matched my change of pace, but it didn't match the effort, if that makes sense.
So you didn't have any like shortness of breath or anything when that heart rate went high?
No shortness of breath, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I wasn't too worried. But I have had it before where I was actually getting mastitis and I had my heart rate shot up to like 190 something on a run. And I still felt okay at that moment, but then I started going downhill really quickly in like the next 15 minutes. And I was actually quite sick. So yeah, that was the one thing that I was curious might have been happening. But anyway, it was fine. Rest of the workout was good. No more issues. And I think, what were my paces this day? The first one was 352. So that was the slowest and that was with the high heart rate. And then I went 338, 342, 334, 341 and 336. So they kind of go up and down a little bit. One direction slightly uphill, one slightly downhill. So my threshold at the moment is probably around 340s, high 330s. And then Saturday, so we flew to Brisbane Friday night. And you know when before you have kids, how you think like it's fine to just fly at whatever hour of the day and it is fine and there's no problems. We were flying out at like 8:40 or something p.m., which I stupidly booked that and thought, that'll be okay with a 4-month-old and a 3-year-old. But then our flight was delayed. So we got to our accommodation in Brisbane at about 1:15 in the morning with the 2 kids. So that was pretty hellish. And I woke up at 5 o'clock. I got woken up at 5 o'clock. So the next morning I did not run. Joe's had to go and do a course. So I thought I'll just wait till the evening and run. So I just did 8K on the treadmill that night instead. And then the next morning, initially I'd said to Jules, I don't think I'll be able to do a long run because Joyce has got a course and we had to check out and then take him there. I thought it was going to be earlier, but he ended up not having to start until a little bit later. So I didn't do my long run, but I just ran 12Ks around Brisbane. And I thought I'll save that for Monday when we are on holidays and I've got a bit more time without the stress of having to pack up the kids and check out. So yeah, that was just 12Ks easy around Brisbane, around the river. And then we came to Noosa last night and I did my long run this morning.
Well, that's good for the weekly mileage this coming week. 2 long runs in the 1 week.
Yeah, I know it'll be a big mileage spike. So yeah, this week was 84.7, which is, it's kind of been sitting around there for the last month.
Yeah. And then your blue bars are bigger though, like in the last couple of weeks. They've been cross training in there as well.
No, I haven't actually really been cross training much the last few weeks. Or maybe I ran 90 Ks or something last week. This week would have been bigger if I'd done the long run. So,
I'm
kind of.
I'm looking at the week that started today. I thought that was last week.
Oh yeah, no, that's this week. Yeah.
Give you credit for credit's there. Consistency,
Yeah.
well done.
So I'm just creeping up towards 100 Ks and then, yeah.
And the long run's been like, so it was like 24K a couple of weeks ago. What's the longest you've ran? What was 2 weeks ago? 24 again?
Yeah, I did a few 24s and then I did 26 this morning.
Okay, good.
So I think I did 22 with you a month or so ago.
Yeah, that was a threshold for both of us though that day.
Yeah, that
Tempo
was the
run.
fastest,
Called
hardest.
croaker pace. Too excited on the flat.
Yeah, I was pretty tired after that one. But yeah, and then I've had a couple of really tough ones at home as well, trying to keep up with the boys. But today I just ran by myself, and it's like I ran flat around here, so 26K is a little bit longer. My last gel was off though, so I had 3 gels, and the last one I think it mustn't have been sealed properly, and I took one mouthful of it, and I was like, oh, that's not okay. And like, God knows how long it's been in the cupboard for at home. But so that made for a fun last 8Ks.
That can't be good.
It'd
just be sugar and stuff, wouldn't it?
Pro athlete, and they're like eating 6-year-old gels.
Yeah, well, I was a bit suspicious of it because I felt like my hand was sticky before I'd opened it. And I was like, oh, is this leaking or is it just sticky from the last gel I had? But then when I took a taste of it, I was like, oh, no, that's not right. But anyway, might need to get some more gels.
Good week. We'll chuck that long run you did today on yesterday, and that's a good 8 days.
Yeah, getting there. It's funny though. It feels like I'm doing quite a lot, and I'm still only really at half or just over half the mileage I hope to get back to. So, and I listened to you guys with Leanne and.
Have you listened to this morning's ep already? Did you listen to that this morning when you were jogging?
Oh, I haven't listened to that one yet. No.
It's like 208 Ks or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
Nick and Moose, they can't even get theirs combined to be anywhere near her.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She's on a different level. She's got to be the hardest training female in Australia at the moment, Croaks, doesn't she?
Oh yeah.
I love how these episodes are going for close to 2 hours, and there's only 2 of them that are running.
It went for an hour and 53 minutes.
Julian and Nick, though, they can talk. Like,
isn't it beautiful to hear them like agreeing on things, Ellie?
Yeah.
Like, their relationship has like come full circle.
Oh, I think they've always secretly liked each other. They just ham it up for the crowd.
Yeah.
And they both just like, yeah, they're good. It's actually good. It's good having Nick back on. He's good.
I made that call.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my genius work, wasn't it, Croaks? No one else wanted him. I'm like, nah, give him a series. Give Nick bring him back.
He's funny. I like him.
He's so funny. I've missed him as well. Hey team, it's Brady here, and I'm stoked to tell you about a partnership for a product I just used last month in Paris. It is Saily, and Saily is a game changer for staying connected when you travel. It's an eSIM service app that lets you choose from a huge range of affordable data plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. Think about it. You land in a new city and boom, you've got data straight away. No more scrambling. If you're heading overseas for your next marathon or even a holiday, we know that running is a fantastic way to experience the world. But here's a question. How often has travel planning been a hassle for you? Especially staying connected once you land. I know I've been there, desperately searching for Wi-Fi, getting stung by crazy roaming charges, or wasting time hunting down a local SIM card. Enter the world of eSIM, and Saily has you covered. It's really simple. You pretty much just download the app once and you're set. There's no more swapping SIMs for every country. Plus, the plans are super affordable, which is crucial when you're saving up for those race entry fees and flights. And for those of you planning a multi-country trip like that Euro Marathon tour, Saily offers global and regional plans too. Imagine this, you're in a new city, you're using Saily to load your Strava heat map, you need to find the best post-run coffee spot, and more importantly, you need to stay connected to upload your latest runs. Saily also helps you to avoid scams and even better, has security features to protect your privacy while you're browsing. It's compatible with both iOS and Android, and their support team is there for you 24/7 if you need them. So here's the deal. Saily have teamed up with the Inside Running podcast to offer you an exclusive 15% off discount on Saily data plans. Use the code INSIDERUNNING, all capitals, at checkout to get started. Download the Saily app or visit saily.com and check out the link in our bio. So when you're traveling next, ditch the roaming headache and give Saily a try. You won't regret it. All right, Craigs, talk us through your week.
So Monday after work, I decided to jump on the treadmill, largely because the day before was a pretty solid long run for me in terms of heart rate, and I finished it and I felt fairly tired. So 12.5K an hour. I jumped on the treadmill. That was the speed, ran 10K. I reckon I started listening to Road to Sydney, but these episodes are so long that I have to split it up over about 3 different runs throughout the week. So that was Monday. Heart rate was really low. It was like mid 120s for that. Then Tuesday, didn't do the session till close to lunchtime. 6 by 6 minutes on the treadmill, 1 minute rest. Did the first 3 reps at 17K an hour, or like 330s. And I wasn't quite hitting 160 on those. So then I bumped it up for the last 3 reps to 17.5K an hour, which is like 326s. And then it sort of went up to like low 160s. So that was a fairly good session.
What's your threshold heart rate?
I reckon now I reckon 160 to 165 is that sweet spot. Anywhere in that sort of 5 beat range. Once I start going above 165, it's definitely, I'm working pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, yes, that was about right. And I love these sessions. Like, you get through a fair bit of volume. Like, that was close to 10.5Ks worth of volume, but you don't feel too banged up from it at all. So that was Tuesday. Yeah. Went to the gym that afternoon. Then Wednesday, so I look after Collis every second Wednesday because he does 2 days, 1 week at preschool and 3 the other week. So this was a week that I had him. So when Viv got home from work, I went out for a run. I just did 10 mile or 16K, 433s. Thursday, that's right. Thursday I didn't run. I was at work, and around lunchtime I started to get this like blurry vision, which for me is like sign of a migraine's coming on. So I've like blurry vision for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then my vision comes back, and then I get headaches. So got through the last couple of periods at school, got home, and I could have went for a run, but as I get older, if I don't feel good, I'm just not going out the door. Whereas when I was younger, like, I would have forced myself to go for a run even with a headache. So I ended up taking the afternoon off. Friday morning, woke up still with like just this dull sort of headache or a bit of like brain fog where you're just not feeling 100%. Ended up doing 10 by 3 minutes on the treadmill. First 2 reps at 18K an hour or 320s. And then the last 8 reps at 18.5K an hour or 315s. Heart rate for this one was like a little bit higher. I reckon more in the mid 160s. Once again, finished it knowing I could do another, few reps easily. So that was Friday. Went to the gym that afternoon, and then I decided to do a double. So I went to the gym at like 1:30 to 2:30, and then I gave myself a couple of hours, went running at close to 5 o'clock, and I wasn't sure how I would feel, but I felt amazing on this second run. I reckon the gym, just helped. So I did 8K.
Activation, Croaks.
Bit of activation, 8K at 423s. So that was surprising. And then Saturday, ran to hockey in the morning. So that was an hour at 423s. Went out that afternoon for another double, 8K at 420s. And then Sunday, I had a run with Zach and Aaron, who was in town from Wollongong. I did 2 hours, 28K, 418s. And yeah, this was much better than the week before. Heart rate was like low 140s average for this one compared to like low 150s the week before, and finished this one feeling fairly good. So week of 120K.
He's on the slow
Good.
burn here, Ellie. Like every week he just gets 1.5% fitter. Which
Yeah.
doesn't sound like much, but give it another 10 weeks. He's going to be real fit.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, I'm certainly not feeling fit at the moment, but I'm hoping that things, click.
You don't want to be fit now, though. Are you doing Valencia?
No, I don't know yet.
Yes, you do. You're doing Valencia.
If you are too fit now, that's where it's risky. You want to just keep chipping away.
So I'm going to sit in that 120 to 130K for another month or so.
Yeah, I like that, Croaks. Good work. I'll whistle through this one. I was coming off a race. So Monday I did 60 minutes in the morning at 4:37 pace. And then I did 45 minutes in the afternoon at 4:37 pace again. So a daily double. I didn't realise that until I started writing my notes for the show tonight. So haven't had one of those for a while. So that was pretty good. I also went to the gym and thought I'd do a bit of cross training. So I got on the exercise bike for 30 minutes. I haven't been on an exercise bike for ages.
What made you want to do that?
I was just like, actually, my week was pretty good this week. I was just like, I work from home Mondays. I've got a bit of time on my hands. I'll just do a little bit of a aerobic top up. Does that make sense? Just to get a few more. But I had an issue, just get a bit more aerobic kind of work in. I did 30 minutes on the bike, and then because I take my iPad to the gym to watch stuff on the iPad. So I put the iPad on the bike, started pedaling, did 30 minutes. Heart rate was probably starting to get up to like 135, which was kind of what I've been jogging at. So I'm like, this is good. And then I went over to the elliptical and I put the iPad over the elliptical screen and just started like pushing the up button, thinking that's how it turns on. So for 30 minutes I was on the elliptical and the elliptical wasn't actually turned on because I have to hit play first. And so I'm like, I've clocked the elliptical. My heart rate's at like 110. I'm fully using it like this. I'm watching this like Osama bin Laden documentary that's like, and the elliptical's in the middle of the gym. So they're like got all this footage of like the Twin Towers falling, like people training to be like jihads, the Taliban. I looked like the biggest idiot because so for 30 minutes the elliptical wasn't even turned on and I just kept pushing the up button and it wouldn't get any harder. I'm like, this is a piece of piss, this elliptical business. So I did about 30 minutes on the elliptical at 110 beats average. Looking like an idiot in there. But
why isn't this on Strava?
Nah, you don't need to see cross-train on Strava, Croaks.
I reckon some cross-training's all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
The funniest thing you'll ever see is Julian on an elliptical. You know how awkward he is anyway? And then just the whole elliptical thing. Yeah, he knows how to turn it on and he goes really hard on it and it is just so funny.
Yeah. I didn't mind it.
So you did 2 hours and 45 minutes of exercise on Monday?
I think that was Monday. Hang on. This isn't on Strava. Oh, no, this was Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday. I just had one run on Tuesday, 60 minutes in the morning, and then I went to the gym in the afternoon. Sorry, wrong day here. I was thinking that. I'm like, off a race, 60 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the Arvo, and an hour cross-training. That's probably a bit too big. No, this was Tuesday. So this is why I did it, because I only had a single run. And I'm like, I might just go to the gym just to get a bit more exercise there.
Yeah, cross-training for doubles is good, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of used to doing doubles as well running. So I'm like, well, I'll go and it's got to be low risk and I can still get the heart rate up. So that was
it's harder to get the heart rate up though, isn't it?
Especially when the machine's not turned on.
Was this Tuesday, Brady?
This was Tuesday.
Is that the 29th?
28th? Hang on.
Was it?
I don't know. Because I deleted them, I'm looking at these.
Your first run here is the 28th, which I'm guessing is the Monday. You did an hour. And then the Tuesday's got a double, the 29th. 45 in the morning and then an hour in the afternoon.
At 4:32 pace?
Yeah.
Oh, no. So you did it Monday, Arvo.
You did it Monday, Arvo.
But I didn't do a double Monday, Arvo. I just did one run.
Yeah, sorry. That was my bad. I was getting confused there.
Nah, but I've got that written here in my diary, so I've confused myself here. Anyway, Tuesday I jogged 60 minutes, 4:32 pace, and then I think I did a double, not sure. Wednesday, I did a workout, 5 by 10 minutes, 90 seconds walk between. I went 3:20, 3:17, 3:21, 3:18, 3:20. heart rate like was 161, 166, 167, 167, 168, which was nice. Starting to feel better working at this pace. 10 minutes, I think, is the longest like rep size that Dan gives me too. So 10 minutes is a long time working at threshold croaks. You're doing it for 6 minutes. Chuck another 4 minutes on top of that. You're out there for a while. Big mileage when you're doing a workout like that one. 45 minutes on that afternoon as well on the treadmill, watching that American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. Recommend it if you're looking for something to watch.
Well, just on that, just back, Brady, on your threshold. It's like, I think 10-minute reps at threshold actually aren't too bad, but most people aren't doing 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's where it gets.
That's where you got to be careful
hard.
early, because if you go too hard early, you overcook it with your heart rate.
Is that heart rate a little low? What's your threshold heart rate again?
168.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah, so you did get up.
Yeah. And it would have probably, I think I was under the instructions, don't go over 170, and like my watch beeps and stuff now too. So a couple of times I'd hit 171, 172. Have to start putting the brakes on.
It's amazing, isn't it, the difference you feel with that couple of beats? Like I reckon you can feel yourself going into that different zone. Like I'm like, oh, this feels a bit hot, and then you look down at your watch and you're like, oh yeah, it's just gone up 2 or 3 beats.
Yeah,
and it goes from being like, oh, this is enjoyable, easy, to, oh, this is getting a bit hard.
Yeah.
3 beats.
Yeah. Thursday did 70 minutes before work, 4:43 pace, and then 45 minutes after school, 4:42s. Friday did 60 minutes, then some plyometrics. So I've been doing some bounding, some hopping, getting better at this stuff too. Wasn't that good at it 3 weeks ago, but I feel like I'm adapting to it, which is nice.
Can you get Carly to film this for our socials, please?
Yeah, if you want, do a demo.
I love that. Yeah.
Should have been filming me 3 weeks ago when I looked like a baby giraffe trying to do it.
How funny distance runners doing plyometrics compared to, like, have you seen the videos of Pete Bowl doing them and the 800 meter runners?
What about the Ethiopians doing them though? They're distance runners. They got like the whole routines.
They're pretty funny though. They're
Well, these guys doing those crazy like single leg box jumps things, and they're like, he's like, oh man, that's impressive.
Yeah. And then Saturday I did my long run because I was busy Sunday. So I did 2 hours, and it was every half an hour I could increase the pace to then go up 10 beats per minute. So I had to keep the first 30 minutes under 135, and then I went 30 minutes, 145, 155, 165. Quite enjoyed this. Didn't have any pace showing, just had like lap time, average heart rate, and then current heart rate. And it was good. Just changing gears every 30 minutes, making sure the heart rate wasn't getting too high. Ended up doing like 423s, 406, 344s, and then 330 for the last 30 minutes. Good way to hit a long run, nice. Just short of 32K. Just short of 31K. It was 30.8. So
did it feel like it went quicker too with the broken down into the 30-minute blocks?
Yeah, feels like it goes so much quicker. And like I didn't plan this. Well, Croaks probably think I did, but I hit the back of Parkrun like 5 minutes after they started. So I was just like Sondre mowing people down for like 20 minutes in like that stretch. It was so good. And I was still only running like 340 pace, but when you're coming through the back of Parkrun, Croaks, you get a lot of eyeballs on you. It's quite good.
Moama's perfect for that sort of long run, whereas like I'd imagine down on the surf coast and even through Mulligans, like trying to do those heart rate builds when it's hilly would almost be impossible to do. Whereas because it's so flat, you can really just step it up.
Oh, come on, man. I had 57 meters of elevation.
57 in 30 pace.
So that was that was that. And then we had one of the fun runs I help out with. That was on the Sunday morning. So this was Run Echuca-Moama. We shut the old bridge too, Ellie, this year.
The old bridge.
Yeah, cool. Because we've got 2 bridges now. We can shut one for fun runs, which is pretty good. So my job's to organise the course and where the marshals are going to be, what time we start the races, spray painting, working with like the traffic management. Probably my most stressful day of the year. Like I was up at 4 for a 4:30 start. It's just I'm a bit of a control freak, and you want all like the cogs in the machine to work. So yeah, it was good though. It was all pretty successful. Haven't seen a final number yet, but I reckon we raised about $60,000 for charity, which That's is some big numbers. 803 runners there. That was good.
Who won?
He,
Archie came second.
Yeah, guy
Ooh.
from Bendigo. Yeah, Archie's hardly ran for about 2 months, so he's probably expecting to come second. Yeah, and a guy from Shep actually, he won the half marathon in like 71, so it was good. I don't have all the winners in front of me. Maybe Croaks has got him in the agenda for a bit later on in the show. But no, it was good.
Did
Big
you have a
stressful
bit of
day.
FOMO not racing, or?
I had a bit of FOMO not being able to run over the bridge, like because that's the first time it's been shut for like a fun run. And I'm like, oh, I've run over this bridge on the footpath a million times, and I didn't get to even run over it on race day when it was like closed to traffic. So yeah, like even Hudson did the kids race. Like Hudson's ran over half of it. Yeah, that was the only bit of FOMO I had. So, but it was good, cool to see. Like when everything happens and it like runs smoothly. That was a good, satisfying feeling later that day when it was all packed up and stuff. So. I did get out though for an hour. I think I had. It was at like 1:30 p.m. or something like that. Went super slow, just kept my heart rate at 125, 446 pace. So yeah, 157k for the week. 4 weeks till Sydney Marathon, Croaks. Man, we're going around. Thanks to Features, the official sock company, for sorting me out with an entry. Did you also snag one?
I do have an entry. I'm not sure I'll be doing it. I'm not sure I'll be doing it though.
Come on, man. You'll do a long run. We'll do something out there.
I'm not ready to run 42k even for a long run.
We'll just jog it. Be a part of history.
Yeah. You'll be able to jog it. You jogged 28 k's over hills yesterday.
You did a 2-hour tempo last week with those boys when your heart rate was at 155.
The 6:30 a.m. start, and trying to get to North Sydney from the eastern suburbs is going to be the nightmare, I reckon.
Why is that?
Well,
public transport not good up there?
Well, I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting because the bridge is going to be closed, so people won't be able to drive across the bridge. And so the only way then getting across the harbour will be the train.
Nah, they got public transport.
What about the ferries? Do they go that early?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be something in place. There's like 30,000 people running.
I'll have to look into it.
City to Surf morning when they have like, what is it, 80,000 people or whatever. I think they must put on extra trains and stuff, and it's because everybody catches public transport into wherever the start is, that park. So they'll have something worked out.
I was trying to find some info on the public transport on Sydney Marathon's website. Maybe I didn't look deep enough, but yeah, I'll look into it.
So it's
a major. They'd have that.
But then, Brady, it's like, is it better to be running in it or actually watch the spectacle? Because I'm not going to see any of it if I'm out there running.
Nah,
I'm not going to be able to see the big dogs up the front.
Nah, you got to be on the roads.
We'll see.
You know what, the coverage I'm sure will be good, but I think being on the roads and like amongst the crowds and stuff at 42k, I feel sorry for the person I pull up next to for a couple of hours. I'm just going to be chewing people's ears off out there with a 3-hour pack or something.
Oh, it'll be such a fun atmosphere. It'd be awesome to run.
Well, it's going to be good.
I'll take your spot, Brad, if you don't want to do it.
Yeah. You want it?
I think there's heaps of entries. Well, not entries available.
Heaps of entries.
No, but there'll be. Really? I reckon there's a lot of people that have an entry, but they can't actually transfer it to anybody. So you'd have to then run under somebody else's name.
Well, we don't condone that.
Could be good for you, Ellie, though, if you want to keep a low profile and not have a result on your profile for like qualifying in the future.
Brad will have a 3:30 to his name.
Are you going to be up there, Ellie?
Nah, I'm not. But I would love to. Like, I'd love to try and do it next year, maybe. Yeah. And
you'd be so good on that course too, hills.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Last year the coverage was awesome, so I'm actually looking forward to even just watching it from home because they made it look amazing. Like, I don't know what it was like there, but they did a good job of the footage.
Yeah. Crowds will be even bigger this year too. They're going to be huge.
Yeah.
People want to see Kipchoge. It's fun and sun.
Still going to be interesting though with the crowds. 6:30 a.m. start.
Like the first half an hour, you're coming over the bridge and stuff, though, aren't you? Once you get to the city.
Yeah, because most of the other majors, like what time's New York start, Ellie?
Yeah, it doesn't start till 9, I reckon, or 9:30.
Yeah, like you're only going to get the diehard running fans out at 7 a.m. to watch a running race.
Yeah. Even
Sydney's a pretty fit city, aren't they?
Well, I guess the proof will be in the pudding, Brady.
I tell you what, though, running, like I feel like in the past, Australia has been terrible as far as spectating marathons goes. Like, Melbourne Marathon, how it's there's like 3 people, used to be about 3 people out on course cheering, but running has gone crazy. Like yesterday morning when I was running in Brisbane, I was saying to Jose when I got home, I ran past thousands of people. Like there
Brisbane's
were
crazy.
thousands of people out training. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And I've been to Brisbane before and run along the river there, and I've never seen anything like that. So maybe more people will be interested to come out and watch.
Oh, yeah.
What is there,
Sweet.
6 million people that live in Sydney or something?
Yeah, Colin Sydney Siders, get out there. Let's thank some Patreon supporters, Croaks. Who you got?
I got Lockie Brick. He's from London, and according to his Power of 10 profile, he's run 17:34 at the Mile End Park Run, 34:43 at this year's Battersea Park Chase the Moon 10K, and 2:45 at this year's London Marathon. I think he might be a software developer at James Street, which is a quantitative trading firm.
There we go. Thank you, Lockie, for your support. Ali, who are you thanking for us this week?
I've got Pat Keating, who's from Geelong, my hood, sort of. His best times on Strava are 19:43 for the 5K, 40:28 for the 10K, 92 minutes for the half, and he ran 3:19 at this year's Ballarat Marathon. Not a lot on Strava in the past month, so we hope that he's going okay. He's potentially a regional sales manager at Middy's Electrical.
Thank you, Pat, for your support. And I'm going to thank Sarah Donovan. We couldn't find Sarah on Strava, but we found a few results and we're hoping these are hers. So 58 minutes at last year's Run Pre in the 10K there. And she's also potentially ran 2:12 at this year's Ballarat Half Marathon and 4:36 at the 2023 Melbourne Marathon. Yeah, those times would line up with each other, wouldn't they, Croaks?
Yeah, pretty close, I guess.
Pretty close, I reckon, potentially. We think she may also be a regular at the Eastern Gardens Park Run. So that's Geelong as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, it's Eastern Gardens.
Yeah.
Heartland of listeners down there in Geelong, Croaks. Big support down there. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters who support the Inside Running podcast. Could not be a better time if you're someone who likes bonus content to sign up to our Patreon page, because the road to Sydney team's over delivering with 2-hour episodes every week. I only asked them to do hours, they're doing 2 hours. So pulling double shifts every week. The UK boys are firing up their accounts this Wednesday to give us an episode. And I think Chriso and Toby are tomorrow night on the OG monthly. Plus, it's not far away from the World Champs, Croaks. We're talking about doing our daily episodes again. So
That'd be fun.
You want to do them again, Ali? You want to be on the panel for some of those?
Yeah, sure. That was
put you on
quite
the spot
fun.
here.
Yeah.
We'll start getting some names together.
What about that group chat that we've had since last year?
It's still going.
Sometimes if you go away from your phone for like an hour, you come back and there's 57 messages in that group.
There's some real passionate athletics fans in there, aren't there?
Oh, there are. Yeah.
Love analysing splits.
It's good. It's very entertaining, that group chat.
Some good coaches in there too.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's solving every problem in that group chat. So that's patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast if you like what we do and support the show there. Running news with thanks to Axel Coffee. They're our race results partner every week, and the secret to starting every run on the right foot. Nothing beats a good coffee before hitting the pavement. I've got Sunshine Coast Marathon to kick things off. I had a quick look at some of the footage today. Stream actually looked really good. I'm not sure if I think they do the half marathon stream in the past. Ali, I've watched you running it up there before. You and who out? Keisha Jen a couple of years ago.
Yeah. The half and the full used to start together, but I've got a feeling they didn't this year, did they?
Yeah, no, the half started about an hour before, I think.
Yeah, so I reckon the stream probably did both, I'd say, when it used to start together. But yeah, there was probably used to be a little bit more focus on the half, but it seems like now they're sort of trying to make the full faster and a bit more of an enticing race for people to go up and do. So, and yeah, I mean, they had some good names this year running the full, so yeah, it's a really good event. Like the guys that run it are so nice and they love it. And everybody, it seems like all the locals up there really get around it. And yeah, it's can be fast depending on the conditions. It can be a little bit warm and there's a big hill that you have to go over a couple of times. But yeah, otherwise it's a really good good event.
Yeah, must get up there one year, Croaks. The winner, though, Ryan Gregson, he set a course record. So he ran 2:14.05, paced by Brett Robinson for, I'm going to say, like 32K.
Yeah, I think it's close to 34.
34 in the end. Yeah, okay. So that's a pretty good training session for Brett, 34K at 3:10K pace. Steve, our boy McKenna Croaks, he was second in 2:18.34. So that's a good result to see. And then Gishe Abdi Wako was third in 2:22.11. In the women's, Sarah Short, she won that in 2:41.12. Cassie Fien was second, 2:41.44.
Oh,
Pretty
close.
close finish there, yeah.
I
And then
reckon when I turned the stream on at one stage, Cassie was winning as well. So she must have, I don't know what
caught her.
point she went past her, but yeah.
Dave McNeil, I think, coaches Sarah as well. I think I saw something on his socials today.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Siobahn
She's
Sefton was
improved
third.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a name I'm not real. I know we've said it a couple of times on the show. Did she race Ballarat? I'm trying to think where I've seen her on the podium
Do you know
before.
her, Ellie?
No, I don't know her. I only know her through like Dave coaching her through Run Strong. But I want to have a look at her progressions because I reckon when she started with us, well, they might not have her progression on World Athletics. Yeah, I feel like she's improved a lot.
Yeah, she's ran 1:20.
Go marathon.
As well. She ran 2:40 at Ballarat.
Yeah, so maybe more over so I reckon when she came to us, she was maybe like a 37-minute 10K runner. And yeah, her half 1:23, and then she's gradually got her half down to 1:17, and then she's done a couple of 2:40s actually.
Doing a
Yeah,
little
2:40 at
Google,
Valencia.
She come from maybe a triathlon background.
Yes, I reckon
Found some
she might have.
Found some results here for where she's raced internationally at like the Asian Cup and stuff back in like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, right. Good aerobic base. Yeah.
Has Dave been coaching her since like this 2023?
Yeah, I reckon a few years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when.
2:40 at Valencia in 2023.
Yeah, so that's 2:41 at Sunny Coast. If she's run 2:40 at Valencia, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah. Yeah, the other ones aren't showing up there. And then Siobahn Sefton was third in 2:44.32. Half marathon also saw a course record. Andy Buchanan, he ran 62.13. Liam Adams was second, 64.27. Sebastian Asher, he was the guy who won Great Ocean Road Half. He ran 66.50. Tara Palm won the women's. Bit of a winning streak at the moment, isn't she, Tara Palm?
Yeah, she's having a
Ballarat.
great
Yeah,
year.
73.54. Rebecca Lowe, 74.22. Charlotte Wilson, 74.48. In the 10K, Andre Waring, 29.37. Alex Harvey, 30.41. Rowan Hickey, 30.47. In the women's, Chloe Patman got the win in 34.41. Brielle Erbacher was second. She's a World Championship steeplechase representative in 35.23. And Kirsty Small was third in 36.45. Andy Buchanan just keeps breaking course records. Looks smooth out there too, didn't he? Gun to tape, was it, Croaks, or was Liam there for a few Ks?
Yeah, no, I reckon Liam was there for like a kilometre and then gapped him after that.
Imagine just doing like a 20K time trial at 62 pace. Yeah.
He's
Anyway,
fit.
He's fit.
Good shape.
Fit early though. World champs are still a long way away. Too fit, Ali, you reckon, this early?
Nah.
What's he got, 6 weeks? Wouldn't be that long, would it?
But half marathon fit's different to marathon fit. So
yeah,
you can't say it's too early.
Sometimes in a marathon block too, when you do a half marathon, it can kind of go either way because you're fit, you can run really well, but sometimes you're so tired that you actually have a shocker. So that's probably like a pretty medium time for him, I'd say, but pretty impressive if it was solo nearly the whole way. He's been training up in Cairns though, hasn't he, for the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think he got back to Bendigo maybe last week.
Yeah. So coming off a pretty big block probably.
Yeah, well, that's 2 half marathons really, isn't it, in the space of, what was Gold Coast, a month ago?
Yeah, and Lonnie only a month before that.
Yeah.
Is he doing Ballarat this weekend?
I hope so. Haven't checked the team sheet. I think entries are still open till Wednesday.
Okay.
He could just tempo it and come like 5th, 10th. Help out the bat strokes under the pump. Moose is going to running for Geelong as well.
Yeah, they're a bit nervous.
Yeah. Well, they're actually in the relegation zone. So I think Toby's even running Croaks. They're all coming out. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Toby will run well.
Yeah, he's fit. US trials, Croaks, tell us about the drama over there.
Oh, storylines everywhere in this US trials. And I guess for the listeners that aren't familiar, like their system is really cutthroat. So if you finish top 3 at their trials and you have the standard or you're inside the quota, you're on the team. So I'll quickly whip through, I guess, all of the different distances. So we'll start with the 10,000 meters. Nico Young, he got the win there, 29.02. So it was a tactical affair, but those guys, I guess, didn't need to run quick because they already had the standard. Grant Fisher was second. Graham Blanks was third. So all 3 have the standard. So that'll be the US team for the 10,000. In the women's, Emily Infield, she got the win, 31.43, beat Elise Cranny, who was second, and Taylor Rowe was third. Now, I believe Emily and Elise, based on the time that they ran plus the ranking points that they get for the national championship, that will be enough to put them inside the quota. I think Taylor Rowe is currently outside the quota. Wiani Kaladi was 4th, and she's inside the quota. Wayne Kaladi. Oh, sorry. It's a bit harder. It's a bit harder than Warwick.
See, Ali was actually on that episode,
Warwick
I reckon.
was still the best one ever.
That audio does not exist. I'm opening up the rankings now, Road to Tokyo, to see where.
So I'm not sure
this affecting Izzy Bat-Doyle.
Because I'm not sure though, or I don't think it will affect Izzy because US already had 3 inside the quota, so it's just a matter of who they send. But I think Taylor Rowe needs to get herself inside the quota.
How do you do that at this point in a 10K?
Now. Yeah.
Do road races still count?
They do count, road races, yep.
Okay.
Do 5Ks count or just 10Ks?
No, just 10Ks.
So she needs to find a 10K road race.
Yeah, I believe so.
This time of year, that's not ideal for her.
All right, 1,500.
Get her to run. Oh, no, that'd be after it.
Could have come to Echuca-Moama and done.
She could
Run
have.
Echuca.
Yeah, my course was certified too. The half people are running the half and their watches are like 21.11, and I'm like, ooh, we're cutting it really fine here.
Bit short there, that one.
But congratulations on your 5-minute PB. No, it was legit, Ellie.
All right, move on to the 1,500.
So just on Izzy, she's still 25th.
Yeah. So I don't think these US results will have been updated. Like they won't be in there yet. But
yeah, okay.
I don't think it won't affect Izzy because I'd say there was already 3 US girls in there anyway.
Yeah.
Men's 1,500. So Jonah Koech got the win, 3:30.17, beat Ethan Strand. He was second, and Cole Hocker was third. So they all have the standard. So that's the team. Hobbs Kessler, he was 4th. And Yared Nagoose, I'm not sure if he was 5th or 6th. Now,
I think he was 5th, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 5th as well. The only way that Kessler can go or Nagoose can go is they have a wild card for the person that wins the Diamond League final. So if Yared Nagoose was to win the Diamond League final, he would also run at the World Championships. So the US would have 4 there. In the women's, Nikki Hiltz got the win, 4:03.15, beating Sinclair Johnson and Emily Mackey. They all have the standard, so that'll be the team there. Men's 800, Donovan Brazier. So he was the 2019 world champ over 800 metres. Basically been injured for the last maybe 3 years. Just come back in the last, I'm going to say 2-3 months. Won the race in 142.16, which was a PB. Cooper Lutkenhaus, he's 16, ran 142.27 for second place. It's an under 18 world record. Bryce Hoppel was third. So those 3 all have the standard. That's the team. Josh Hoey, unfortunately, he was 4th. So I guess same situation. If he's in that Diamond League final and wins it, he could make the team that way. Women's 800.
Did you guys watch that race?
I didn't watch it, no, but
it was crazy.
Did you ever know this second kid was before like today?
No,
Cooper,
it was
No.
Fletch and
3
House.
second PB or something, wasn't it?
He was nowhere
Yeah.
near it at 200 metres to go. He wouldn't have put
And
any
he
money
wasn't
in it at
in
all.
so the camera shot had the other guys, and he came out of nowhere. Like, they didn't even have the camera showing him, and then he just comes through and mows them all down. It was crazy.
16 years old. He does look like
Yeah.
he's 20 though. He's pretty like
Yeah,
well
he
built.
did.
He's developed.
You could tell he was young, but he didn't look. I didn't think he was 16. I was watching the Russian stream, so I had no idea who he was, and I was like, who is this guy? Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, Josh Hoey, who's coached by Rinaldi, that he'll be pretty disappointed with that because he's been so dominant.
Yeah.
So
Well,
far this year.
He was pretty much pacemaker for them. I think they went through 400 in like 49.2 or something, and then he still went pretty hard from 400 to 600, and those other guys obviously just sat on him and were able to finish over the top. But for, like, this Cooper guy, like, you look at what Jakob has done at that age, and Cam Myers, and we thought they were absolutely amazing. Like 142 at 16, like, blows those other guys out of the water, I reckon, for what they did at the same age.
Yeah, like, he'll be up there at World Champs if he can replicate a run like that.
Yeah, incredible. Women's 800, Roslyn Willis got the win, 159.26. Maggie Congdon was second. Sage Herder-Klecker was third. They all have the standard. Men's 5,000 metres, Cole Hocker backed up from the 1,500, got the win there in the 5K, 13:26.45. Beat Grant Fisher, who was second. Nico Young was third. Drew Hunter was fourth by 100th of a second, and Cooper Tier was fifth. So I guess this is interesting where, like, Hocker was already on the team, Fisher was already on the team, Nico Young was already on the team. If they don't double up, then potentially, like, Drew Hunter could get a run, Cooper Tier could get a run, but I think they generally double up the US athletes, do they, Ellie, in the past?
A lot of them do. I think Cole Hocker's been saying that he's going to, and I would actually assume the other two would as well, because I think, well, Grant Fisher did that at the Olympics, obviously. Drew Hunter was like throwing himself at the line. It was like, oh, you sort of wanted him to get that spot because he just looked like he was trying so much harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually a good race as well. It was really congested. It was like this huge pack, and it actually looked really stressful. Grant Fisher was boxed in and like maybe 5 people back, but he just, like, he's obviously so cool, calm and collected. He just kind of stayed there and waited until there was an opportunity to move. But yeah, it would have been a very stressful last 3 or 4 laps, I reckon.
But Hocker goes up the inside every time they just let him through. It's exactly the same as the Olympics. You're just
he led for most of it, which was, and then he kind of got pushed back as well.
Yeah, I don't get that. I get why they do it. They're trying to keep the people off their outside, but they just leave that lane open. He just sneaks through.
Yeah.
All right, women's 5K. Probably not a very popular result here, but Shelby Houlihan, she got the win in 15:13. Recently back from a 4-year drug suspension. Lise Cranny was second, and Gisette Andrews was third. Kaladi had another 4th place there. So Shelby, Cranny, and Andrews all have the standard. So I guess that will be the team, unless sort of Elise decides not to double up from the 10K. But yeah, like, I don't know how Shelby does it. I don't think I could ever show my face again at an athletics meet coming off a drug ban.
Yeah. I was watching after the race to see what everyone was like.
She did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I think she's like, I've been stitched up. I did nothing wrong. I deserve all this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what you got to tell yourself.
But imagine how much flack she would cop wherever she goes, like, athletics related.
Nah, no one's saying anything in person, Croaks.
She would definitely get booed in Australia, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Do you reckon she would, though? If she rocks up and runs a Murray plant meet, no one in the audience is booing her. There's a big difference between putting something in the social media comments and actually doing stuff face to face.
If she was at the MCG and she was an AFL footballer, she would.
Oh yeah, for sure she's getting booed. But I
was watching the girls after the race, and, like, to be honest, they all seemed fairly nice with her, considering. like when they're all shaking hands and stuff. I was curious to see people's responses, but
Yeah, but then if they don't, it turns into a story about them. You know what I mean? The bad
yeah,
sports didn't shake hands. Well, then, yeah.
like Noah and Kenny.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. That was good. What was your take on it for people who didn't see it? Noah Lyles like stares at the guy, Kenny, in second as he crosses the line and beats him. And then Kenny just gives him a push in the back. And then Noah turns around
Yeah,
like, why did you push me in the back? And then, but then they
I
shook
could sort
hands.
of see why he pushed him, to be
Oh,
honest.
I like that he pushed him.
He was like being a smartass, and he was kind of in his way, like he turned around and was running backwards, but kind of in his space.
Mm.
And like you can see how that would be the temptation, don't you reckon, to do that?
Yeah.
Well, Kung Fu Kenny always comes across as a pretty decent sort of guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Was there a backstory behind that? Like, had they been? I know
I
they've
think he
obviously
just said,
competitive with each other, but had they had any beef before?
don't know, but I think he said he felt disrespected with the way that Lyles like stared him down across the finish line. So that's
Yeah.
why he pushed him. And then when he shook his hand,
I wonder if you get in trouble for that.
don't do that again. Yeah, would have been good for the sport if that blew up a bit more. I reckon, a bit more of a push and shove, maybe a right haymaker, someone through.
Track and field, well, you want it UFC. You want track and field to turn to UFC, Brady.
It was
I
pretty
think
crazy.
even worse, Chris. We need running to turn into like the WWE, that kind of stuff. We need a bit of that stuff. People dressed up, beefs, people changing sides.
When I first saw it, I didn't know if that was what it was. Like it was sort of playful, but then after you could see Kenny's face, and you were like, "Oh no, he is pissed." Yeah.
Like even if like I was thinking too, I'm like, oh, if they plan this, like, because this is a real good like publicity stunt. Like it's good to get eyeballs on each other. But then when I watched, I'm like, oh no, this was legit.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, look it up on YouTube because it's quite interesting.
Good recap, Croaks. Good recap. Well done. US trials always drama when it's first three. Because you're thinking about this, like they're gonna leave. What was Nagoose silver at the Olympics?
Yeah.
Olympic silver doesn't get to potentially go because he didn't get it right at the trials.
But I think what's also that's the best thing about the 1500 at the moment is the depth is crazy. That even on the world stage, you don't know who's going to win, and it's the same in the US because I would have had that Jonah Koech had shown some pretty good form earlier on this season, but you probably would have gone Koech, Hocker. And Nagoose or Cobbs Kessler. Like there's always going to be some good guys miss out, but I wouldn't have expected Nagoose to not make the team. And he might still get a run. He might win Diamond League. Who knows?
It always happens, doesn't it, in the US trials? There's always like crazy favorites that miss out and like real surprises that make the team.
Yeah, like college kids coming out and making the team.
High school kids.
Yeah, high school. Yeah.
And then people like, even in the women's 5K, like people like Carissa Schweitzer, she missed out. I don't even know what she finished, but it's so fun to watch. It's so cutthroat. But
someone
it'd be
in the
so
group
stressful
chat
to be in.
went about did Nagoose race too much with the Grand Slam stuff? Like, did that affect his performance now? Which I thought was a good point. Was that Jeff Risley that brought that up?
He also led along, like he was sort of the pacemaker as well, I believe.
Yeah.
He was the one driving the train.
I listened to his interview and he said that he thought that if he ran it that way, it would cut it down to 3 of them. So that was kind of his race plan, just see how he felt, but push. I think he said he wanted to push the 3rd lap really hard and hope that cut it down to 3 so that he was basically safe. But he said after that lap, there was still 5 or 6 of them there or whatever.
I wonder if this, Ellie, I wonder if this is going to change the way that the 1500 meters run, because obviously after Rio was a real tactical affair and it was won in 350 or something by Centro. And then pretty much after Rio, you had Tim Chariot was just front running. Jakob was pretty much doing the same after that. But all of these 1500 meter guys have got that aerobically fit now that you actually can't run away from them. So if you're doing all of the work, they're just going to sit on you and off and out kick you. So I wonder if it's going to actually change the way that these front runners are now going to have to run it.
Surely.
Yeah, don't know.
No one wants to be the pacemaker anymore because they're calling it getting yakubed, isn't it? Wasn't that on that front? Don't go get yakubed like Nagoose got yakubed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Let's move on. UK trials, Ali. Tell us about some highlights over there.
Yeah, so they happened this weekend as well. So in the 800, Georgia Hunter Bell won the women's race, 1:59.53. Probably no surprises there. Gemma Reiki was second and Abigail Ives was third. In the men's 800, Max Bergen, 1:43.92.
Bergenator, I think they call him over there.
Bergenator.
Cloudsy's mate knew nothing about him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tiernan Crockin was second and Alex Bottrell was third. I don't know if I know of those two. Do you guys?
I don't either. No, do you know much about the UK trial system? I feel like it's a little bit more like the Aussie one where I think if you finish top 2 and you have the standard, you're automatic, but then I believe there's maybe a selector's discretion for the third spot.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not quite as cutthroat as the... Yeah, because there's been times in the past, hasn't there, where they've picked people that were top 3, but...
Yeah. And then there's often, often they make their... Even if you're inside the quota and you finish top 2 at the trial, sometimes they don't send them either.
Yeah, don't send a full team. Yeah, they're pretty brutal with their selections, GB Athletics, with who they take. The 1500, Sarah Calvert won the women's race, 4:16, so that was obviously a tactical one. Laura Muir was second, so good to see her back racing. And Revi Walcott Nolan was third. So I've seen she's been running a few of the Diamond Leagues and things lately, I think. Neil Gooley won the men's, again, tactical, 3:47.06. Elliot Giles second and Samuel Charig third. Jake Whiteman a DNS due to sickness. So that'll be interesting to see whether they bring the discretion.
Yeah. Did you see any of the men's 1500, Brady?
Nah.
So
just the last 10 metres when they cut each other off.
Giles was in front, and then Gooley was coming, I think, up on the outside, and like Giles was trying to run him like really, really wide. I reckon they touched each other like just before the line, but obviously Giles, I reckon, was in the wrong, trying to push Gooley like really wide.
Yeah, right. And in the 5,000 metre, Hannah Nuttall won the women's race, 15:46. India Weir was second and Ines Fitzgerald was third. Josh Kerr won the men's race, 13:44. He's not going to go for the 5K though, is he?
No, because he's the current world champ, so he gets a wild card into the World Championship. So he just he just rocked up to support the meet.
Yeah. Jack Kavanagh was second and Rory Leonard was third.
That's the UK.
Yeah.
Beach to Beacon happened. This was a 10K road race, which it's Joan Benoit Samuelson. I looked this up today. It's in Maine, and she's Maine's most recognisable athlete who continues to serve as an inspiration for women runners around the world. So she founded the Beach to Beacon 10K road race, which used to be known as the People's Race, from People's Beach to Beacon in 1998 to benefit the children's charities in Maine. I'd always heard about this race, but I didn't realise the history behind it. So Izzy Bat-Doyle got the win. So this is a huge road race for Izzy to win. Big field as well, $10,000 USD for the win. She won it in 31:25 too. So some rolling hills, point to point. Pretty amazing race from Izzy there.
Did she break the course record?
I think she did.
Yeah.
Oh, did she? She broke the course record.
When I saw that she'd won it, because this is often a really, really strong race, and I thought, I wonder if it may not have been as strong this year with the US trials, but then I thought I saw, that she broke the record. So they've had some crazy fast Africans run it. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
I don't think it is a record.
Maybe Conor
Jocelyn Jepkes guys, she's run 31:05.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
maybe
a course
it was
record.
the men's record.
Yeah, that's a course record though.
I mean, she's
20
seconds
Katani
off.
won it on a. Hang on.
I thought I read something that
bold denotes course record progression. This is weird. It's got the bold time in 31:05, but then they got Katani running 30:41. Don't know what's going
Maybe
on
the
the
course
website
has
here.
changed or something.
Yeah, because then they got a Russian athlete running 31 in 26.
You know what else is interesting about this event is the elite athletes get like billeted out to families.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
like old school junior stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, so Izzy was staying with some family from the community.
That'd be pretty cool. Imagine like you're this random American family, not sure who you're getting, and then Izzy Batdor from South Australia, Adelaide, rolls through your front door. You'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't you?
And wins.
And wins it. Izzy as your foster daughter for the weekend. Some
Yeah, it
big
looks like
winners.
a
Like you
fun
look,
race.
yeah, you look at some of these past winners, some big names, and in the men's, Connor Mance, no bigger name in American distance run at the moment. Is there over there on the roads?
Your
He got the
boy.
win. Yeah, my boy, our boy, in 27:26. So he actually got 15,000 because he got the first American bonus of 5,000 as well. So that's good for Izzy getting paid in US dollars.
Yep.
Work out pretty
Yeah.
well.
Good little booster for the European season.
Yeah, for sure. Croaks finish it off the news. New South Wales road relays.
Yeah, so this was out at Bankstown. 4x4K is the distance. So in the men, Sydney Uni got the win, 48-17, beat Gosford 48-37. And Delta, they were third, 48-53. Fastest splits of the day. Sam Clifford ran 11:30, and Tommy DeCano was second with 11:41. In the women's race, Run Crew Team A got the win, 54-49, beat UTS 54-53. So pretty close there, 4 seconds. And Run Crew's B team, they got the bronze, 57-25. Fastest splits, Georgia Whincup and Kate Spencer both recorded 13:26.
What's a course like, Croaks?
I haven't run this. I haven't run it, but I believe there was a bit on the grass, and because Sydney had a heap of rain over the weekend, it was pretty wet and boggy in sections.
Yeah, okay. Do they have ladders and stuff now, or is this just a standalone? You win this, you get your medals.
I'm sure they do have some sort of winter premiership table, but yeah, there's probably not too many clubs that care about it too much.
Yeah, okay. These results brought to you by Axel Coffee. Don't forget, Inside Running podcast listeners get 20% off your first online order with the code IRP20. Start your day right with Axel Coffee. If you're listening, the chances are you're gearing up for a race, but how dialed in is your race day nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner to calculate your carb, sodium and fluid needs for peak performance. Their product, like the 90-gram resealable gel, helps you hit your numbers with ease. That's why legends like 4-time Olympian Lisa Waitman and ultra runner Hayden Hawkes trust them too. Head to the link in the show notes to create your personalised strategy and then use code IR-SPRING2025 for 15% off your first order. Or if you're a Patreon supporter, grab your exclusive 20% off discount code from our member-only episodes. Time to level up your performance. Click the link now. Now back to the episode. Whispers, no, not too many whispers. Just an observation of the week. Just noticed a couple of things, Croaks and Ellie. Like I'm listening to Road to Sydney today. Leanne's talking about how she goes to this gym, doesn't really want to talk about the gym's name because they used to hook her up with a free membership, but then they cut her off. And then I'm listening to like Timmy Vincent on his podcast talk about how he's on this training camp up in Cairns with Andy Buchanan, but they're having like trouble like accessing the athletics tracks. And then I heard a story today about an Olympian who used to get their club rego paid for by the club, and then they've cut her off because they weren't hitting standards and stuff anymore. And I'm like, this is just a lack of support for some very, very good athletes in our country. And it's really low-hanging fruit that like one of our best road runners and the fastest ever woman to debut at the marathon has to pay to get a gym entry. Or like some of our best marathoners, men, can't get on an athletics track when they're on a training camp. Or like Olympians are paying their AV registrations, which is like $200 because they haven't hit some black and white criteria. And I'm like, this should be easy stuff. Where it worries, like I get worried for elite athletes like yourself, Ali, with some of the lack of support out there.
Well, they're just like little things like that all add up. Like if you've got free access to gym and yeah, getting into the track, obviously, to do sessions and stuff while you're away on a training camp, like all of those little things, when you combine them, actually make a huge difference to athletes. And yeah, like you said, they're not really like, it's not costing people anything. I wonder what the story was with the track access in Cairns, because we were up there for a training camp before Tokyo, and I don't think we ever had any issues with that, unless it had been booked by a school or something. But
Yeah, I think it was like time of day stuff. Like you can have it, but just don't rock up at these times. So they had to kind of adjust their training.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get, but I'm like, these guys should kind of be a priority in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Leanne, I've hearing Leanne talk about how she's not part of the ACT Institute.
Oh yeah, when she was talking about like that altitude house, she's like, I was in there for a study, but if I want to go now, I've got to start like paying, and it's just like, oh,
yeah.
Like, imagine her living in there for 5 weeks before Sydney.
I heard a whisper though with that altitude house that what they're going to try and do is make a heap of money privately. So like if Collingwood, for example, want to use the altitude house for a period of time, charge them potentially like premium dollars because they've got the money, and then make it more affordable for people part of the governing bodies.
Yeah, good whispering.
Which would be good, and in terms of like Leanne's gym membership, like she used to work at the gym, so like surely you'd think there's a bit of like loyalty there.
Yeah, when I heard her talking about that, I was like, you dogs, why would you cut? Like, not costing them much money, not costing them any money.
Yeah, it's hard too, because like Leanne, I mean, she's not the type of person that's going to be going around asking for all that stuff too, which like you'd hope that people will put themselves out there and offer her those things, or if she does ask, give it to her. But yeah, some athletes are a little bit more forward probably with asking for things. And
yeah, I didn't want this to come across as a Leanne problem. I think it's like the sport in general problem. That's why I kind of had those three examples.
I'm not saying she should have to ask for it either, but it's just like, you know how I feel like some people can get a lot more of those things because they sort of are a bit pushier with asking for it, which I'd be the same as Leanne. Like I hate asking for things for free. It's not a nice thing to have to do.
Like on his video now, he's only wearing stuff he's got for free. Croaks.
No, Viv actually bought me these Peter Alexander pajamas.
I can't
Peter
see
Alexander, that's very fancy.
I can just see your top and your beanie, and I know you got both of them for free.
Sorry, I'm wearing free clothes too, Brad.
But that's what, I worry about some of our elite, because they're never going to ask because they're so modest and stuff. But I feel like they fall through the cracks with some of this low-hanging fruit, because
especially when you consider we're known as like a sporting country. We love celebrating our champions, and like, why not make it easier for our champions to be champions?
Yeah, there should just be policies in place for the federations, a bit like, if you've represented Australia, we'll call your local gym, we'll pay for your rego. Like, if you've went to the Olympics, you get your next 10 years of like AV membership for free. Stuff like that.
Well, it's different from state to state too, because like for me, so I'm VIS, so I get access to the gym there, but like that is 2 hours away from where I live. Yeah. But I was able to use, like they actually paid for my gym membership down here for a few years. I don't know if they
great. Yeah,
still would, but yeah, exactly. Like, but that's where it's little things like that.
What about like, did you get access to like physio and like dietitians and stuff in Melbourne? Like, would they do that stuff locally for you so you didn't have to drive in?
They gave me access to a women's health physio down here when I was pregnant and after I had the baby, and otherwise I would go there to see Jess Rothwell for dietitian, or if I got injured, I'd go there to see the sports docs and the physios.
Yeah.
But like they possibly, like they do try. VIS is good at trying to coordinate that with their rural athletes, I think, because it's not realistic for everyone obviously to go into the institute. And they let me do telehealth stuff wherever it's possible. But it's probably different from state to state.
But don't you think the athletes' local community should sort of get behind them as well? Like, for example, Leanne with that gym, like, wouldn't the gym love to have an Aussie rep using their gym and maybe, promote that? Like, because a gym, like them giving up a gym membership to Leanne, like costing them nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you
you'd
say,
think so.
hey, like you're supporting, an Aussie rep here.
Is Canberra
was
like
yeah.
that? Because I feel like in country towns it would be like that, like Brady. Is it?
Yeah,
It would be
a
like
little
that in
bit.
areas as well, but
Yeah. So
I don't know. Canberra's a bit too big.
I think Leanne does get like weekly treatment. And the local soft tissue therapist who owns that business basically just, covers that cost for her to get treatment with Jimmy Barker every week.
Oh, that's good.
And that's
Yeah.
just off his own bat sort of thing, going, you know what? We're going to support you
Yeah,
because you're an elite athlete. And so that's
Yeah,
obviously
that's
got
really
nothing to
nice.
do with the governing body. That's just a local business supporting an elite athlete. And I feel like the gym should do that as well. It's like, hey, you can then promote that we've got our top athletes visiting, using our gyms.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that again yesterday when we put on this fun run, and like we raised like $60,000 to build houses for people with a disability in town, which is amazing. But I'm like, we've put on a running event, but runners don't benefit from the running event. So it's like that doesn't happen with the local swimming club or canoeing club or cricket club, where the main movement is a money generator for something that doesn't go back into the sport. And there would
It's
be
tricky
aspects
though,
of it.
isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's really, but like, so our other fun run, the one where you race a paddle steam, a sweat first steam, similar. So like our little town would probably put in, I don't know, $80,000 to $100,000 of dollars per year into charitable causes in the community that doesn't help the local kid who's qualified for the Vic team to pay his levy to go to nationals, or little things like that. I'm like, oh, how does running get to access the running pie of making money that goes to charitable causes, which is amazing. I'm not having a crack at the charity. Like, just gave up heaps of hours to make that possible. But that is where money does come into the sport that runners don't access.
It's difficult to compare needs though, isn't it? If you've got housing for people with disabilities versus funding someone to go to a running race, it's kind of, I know what you mean. It's a running event, and I guess we do need to find those ways that we can support athletes, but there's also like so much other greater need, I guess, in the world.
Spot on, yeah.
But I don't know.
We haven't solved any problems, but we've brought it to the listeners' attention. Listener question, Croaks. Let's bring this show home.
All right. This episode's list of question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And the question is, which I'm not sure, did they use this one on Road to Sydney?
Oh, yeah.
Brady?
Terrible answers as well. They weren't happy with our shoe review last week either, Croaks.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Skip that part.
Anyway, the question is, if you had $50,000 to spend purely on becoming a faster runner, what are you spending it on?
You know what they said? They're like, oh, buy a elliptical. Or like, buy an Ultra G. Let's just put this question, all three of us. With our current marathon PBs, you get $50,000. I'm going to tweak it a bit. How do you run 2 minutes quicker than your current marathon PB using that $50,000? Because Nick Earl could go buy an elliptical and he's not running 2:12. Like the
you
tweak.
Want to go first, Ellie? You're the guest.
Yeah. How do you go run 2:24, Ellie? 50K. You pick the time, you activate the $50,000. You don't have to rush back from childbirth.
So you can spend it on multiple things?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be in one hit.
So some of it I would spend on reducing the amount of time you work, because I think that ability to recover across the day, actually for me, if it's me personally, I would be spending most of that on childcare. And I would get a babysitter or a nanny for chunks of my day to allow me to do my doubles without having to travel, someone come to my house, look after my kids for a couple of hours so I can do a double and go to the gym. And maybe they could stay for an extra hour or two just so I get a little bit more downtime during the day. That would probably be my number one thing that I think would be helpful for me at this point in my life. And if I still had any money left over, what else? I
altitude tent? That was
really
another thing they
like
talked
heat
about.
training. Now, I would actually go heat over altitude tent. I
Get
don't
a
think I'd
sauna
sleep
put in.
very well in a altitude tent. Yeah, I reckon I'd get a sauna. I don't know if that's partly like pleasure as well, but I feel like
Jose is in there for like 30 hours a week,
Jose would,
chucking water in the rocks.
he absolutely would, loving himself sick.
Couple of beers in there.
Yeah, that's my answer.
What do you think, Brady? Seems like you thought the others were terrible answers.
Oh, buy an elliptical. You don't need just ellipticals cost like $250 off a cheaper buy, swap, and sell. You're right. Well, my initial response when I saw this question was I'd pay the $50,000 to get access to some of the camps that some of the top runners of the world are in, and just be like, whatever you guys are doing, I just want to copy it for 6 months. Is it okay if I give you $50,000 to just copy all your processes for 6 months? Here's $50,000, and then come out of the camp, and you run pretty quick, I reckon. I don't know if everything's above board. What happens in the camp? I'm not sure what happened in some of these camps, but you go to successful places and you be around success, and it's like that when you go up to Falls Creek and you're around runners, like that camp mentality.
Yeah, there's also the risk. There's also the risk of cooking yourself at those camp environments too. You're like, I'm going all in here.
But
Chris
I still, you can go all in, but you also can, if you do it smart, like that. It's sort of similar to what I said. Then you've got that time to recover during the day. There's nothing else going on when you're away from home. No other distractions. Like, I think that's actually a good investment, Brady.
$50,000 in Kenya would go a long way too, Croaks.
Yeah, would you go to Kenya?
It's a bit of success coming out of Kenya.
Yeah, a lot of people get sick when they go there for training camps, though.
Yeah, but they go for like 2 weeks. Like Chris, I'm talking going for 6 months.
Robertson Brothers style. Go over there and live for 10 years.
Maybe not 10 years. 50 grand. Can I stay for 10 years, please? Just sleep in the same bunk bed as Kipchoge.
You go to St. Moritz for 2 weeks with that 50 grand.
Yeah, they said that joke as well. You get 2 weeks in St. Moritz. Yeah. No, I reckon something like that, Croaks, would be good. Take away all distraction. If it was like, say someone had a gun to your head and it's like, hey, here's 50 grand. You've got to go run 2:17 for the marathon. What are you going to do? You've got 6 months. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go to Kenya for 6 months and train the house down.
I would, if it's over 6 months, I would use some of it so that I wouldn't have to go and teach, particularly after today. I had a real shit day dealing with like year 10 boys. So that would be part of it. So not working as much. I would probably buy an altitude like tent. And the other thing for me, I would get treatment a lot. Like I would probably get treatment a couple of times a week, because it would, I think if I got treatment twice a week, I think that would allow me to be able to actually run the miles that I probably need to run to do that.
Yeah, I think that would be good too.
Yeah.
What's that, like $100 twice, $200 a week?
$200 a week. So that goes a fair, well maybe, that's 50,000 goes a fair way.
It's not like you can't afford that either. Like you could easily get treatment once every 2 weeks and solve that problem that you're hoping someone.
I guess I don't care about that 2-minute PB enough then, do I?
That's an
so
easy
I've
fix
never got treatment though, and before Osaka I got treatment once a week or once a fortnight for the whole marathon block, DNF. So I don't know.
It was also 1 degree and you got hypothermia.
I also did heat training, so I don't know why I'm buying a sauna.
Just go put 50 grand on a red and see what happens.
So less work, altitude, tent, treatment.
It's a good combination. Well, Zaka, let's do we need to get the responses from the listeners. What do you spend 50K on? I'd be interested in the responses. Let's do something on social media. Thanks to
Surely most people that work full time would be like, work less.
Yeah, depends on your job though.
Sometimes
full-time athletes don't work. I reckon if you got something for 15 to 20 hours a week, that's kind of healthy.
Well, actually, I was chatting
unless you're on a shovel.
I was chatting to the guys that I was running with yesterday about the whole, being a full-time athlete versus actually having a job. And I remember Benny saying that he actually ran better when he had a job, because a lot of his easy runs were like the commutes to work with like a little backpack on. Whereas when he was full-time athlete, he like had more time and probably needed to train harder. So that can be I guess the downside of having too much time to be a full-time athlete.
Yeah, I was definitely, when I ran all my PBs, that like I think I cut down my work a lot after them, and then I never ran any faster. But it is so much harder juggling work. Like, yeah, and you can't do the same amount of training. You're right, Brad, which could be maybe a blessing in disguise, but yeah, not many of the top guys are working full time. Let's put it that way.
What's coming up, Croke? City to Surf. That's this weekend. Our boy Sam Clifford be the favourite there, won't he? See his training week last week?
Well, I saw the last 3 days. Was it like 35K on the treadmill at 306s or something? And then he went that was a Friday. And then Saturday was the road relays with like a little session afterwards. And then 50K.
I think it was Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay. And then, 50K yesterday.
50K?
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, how long was he running for?
It was 4 hours. It was 4 hours.
Just time on feet. Is it a 4:30K pace, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
interesting. He's going to be in action. See to Surf.
Who's brilliantly running in the women's race? Do you know?
I got no idea. I only know Sam's doing it because he was on the show last week. Sometimes they're slack with the elite fields. See to Surf.
Yeah.
Only find out real late. Is Leanne? No,
Leanne's not doing it. It's one of those ones like we chatted about City to Surf yesterday as well. How growing up as a kid, it was on Sunday morning live the whole race, and it was the first thing I really knew about running was City to Surf.
Yeah,
and
Ellie's won it. She's a winner.
Yeah, like it's cool. It's like iconic, but then at some point, I don't know, they just stopped supporting the elite athletes, I'm guessing, and it just sort of didn't become as prestigious, I don't think. The depth certainly wasn't there after a period of time.
Well, they didn't you used to win like, what was it?
It was like a flight.
Oh, yeah. Nah, but I reckon back in the day, like, did Mona win 50 grand or something?
Oof, maybe.
I feel like it used to be crazy prize money, and then it's gradually got less and less.
Actually, I stumbled across. I don't know. I don't reckon it's even advertised on their website. I stumbled across a while back on YouTube the 1991 City to Surf, like full replay. So that was the year Mona broke the record, and there's a young Dick Telford wearing a helmet with a camera on it, following Lisa Ondieki. Which think about it, like 1991. Cameras on helmets, like it's pretty high tech, and there's a bit there where he obviously wasn't fit enough to keep up with her the whole way, and so just up past Heartbreak Hill, he obviously took a few like back streets, and then they came back to him and like, oh, how you going there, Dick? He's like, yeah, I had to take a bit of a shortcut to be able to keep up with her.
That's hilarious.
$2,000 first prize, $1,000 for second, third $500.
Like, which is not a lot when you consider how iconic that is.
What's the entry? Imagine the entry fees. How much is it to enter? I know you've got expenses and stuff, but what, $80 to enter?
Yeah, at least, I reckon.
I remember years ago, people were trying to do the figures going, all right, calculate how much revenue you get from ticket, like entry sales, then go, okay, what's it cost to close all the roads? And I think they still worked out that would have been making a massive profit.
Yeah, well, that's if it's $80 an entry and 80,000 people, that's 6.4 million.
$130. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, $130 an entry.
All right, let's put that right in the calculator.
I think it was it when Fairfax Media bought it that it sort of changed a bit.
Yeah, don't Ironman own it now or not?
Yeah, I think they might, Brady.
I think Ironman have got it now off Fairfax.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great race. It's a shame that
it's a great race.
Lost its like prestige as an elite race, but it's a pretty fun.
We'll talk about those results next week. Ballarat 15Ks on as well. Weren't tempted to do that, Ellie?
We fly back late Saturday night, so I actually did consider it. I considered doing Albert Park last week too, but I think I probably should just wait a bit longer.
Yeah,
I might do yeah.
Pussycats have had a few decent results this season.
Pussycats are going all right. Yeah. Yeah. I might come back for 10 relays and maybe, I don't know what else is left. Burnley? Maybe Burnley.
Oh, yeah.
September.
Burnley be a good low-key comeback race.
Yeah, half marathon. We'll see.
Yeah, a bit of tempo at pick it up.
Are you running Ballarat?
First. Yeah, I am. I'll be there at Ballarat. And then National Cross Country is the week after. So that's something to talk about in a couple of weeks' time. We're done. Croaks, what do you got coming up?
A bit of work, I think I'm getting some treatment this week. But yes,
there we go.
Pretty standard week.
Ellie, going to go to Bluey's World up there in Brisbane?
I actually looked at, so we're in Noosa now, but
sorry.
The other day, Joyce was doing a course in Brisbane and I was thinking about taking the kids to Bluey's World, but I looked at the reviews and it didn't get great reviews. Have you been there?
It's wild in there, yeah. Yeah,
is
they
it good?
try to do like, it's too out of control. They try to do like everyone sit down, listen to these instructions. This is like what we're going to do. Like, move to the different rooms and stuff. But the kids just walk in and they just start flipping the place upside down.
Yeah. So, that wouldn't work very well with 3-year-olds, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah. And I don't think they're probably qualified. Like, you almost need to be a qualified drama teacher to be able to deliver that kind of stuff. And then maybe they are, but it was pretty hard to get the kids in line because they're all so excited. But anyway, that's enough about Bluey's World. You're now going to hear from Moose. People have been missing Moose. Now you get to hear from him. He's talking to Ashley Campbell, who's the expert product line manager from running footwear at Nike, based over there in Oregon, Croaks. They said we'll do one interview with one Australian publication. We want Julian Spence from the Inside Running podcast to conduct it. The only interview you'll hear with Ashley Campbell is going to be right here on the Inside Running podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. See you, team. Thanks for filling in, Ellie.
Thanks, Ellie.
No worries. Bye, guys.
See ya. Want to make your next race day the best one yet? Well, dialing in your nutrition strategy is one of the most effective ways you can do that. Luckily, our show sponsor, Precision Fuel and Hydration, offers you the chance to do this in the most effective way possible. Book a free consultation with their team to fine-tune your fueling plans. Emphasis here on you, as they offer tailored advice based on your circumstances and the race you're taking on. They're there to help you achieve your goals all year long, and as mentioned, this service is free of charge and a great opportunity to ask them any questions you may have about fueling and hydrating for your race. No question is too daft for them. We've loved Precision for a long while, and this free service is another reason why. Use the link in the show notes and use code IR-SPRING2025 for 15% off your first order and start smashing those goals today.
Good morning, Inside Running podcast listeners. We're here with a special interview with Ashley Campbell, who is a product line manager for running footwear at Nike. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, can you just give the listeners an idea what that means, that role of yours at Nike?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm a product line manager. So I work on the product creation side of things. And we have a whole team of people that works on product, and we all kind of own a different part of the process. For me, I sit a little bit more on the product marketing and kind of consumer side of the process. So I think one of the best ways to describe what I do is I'm sort of like the team captain for everybody. So I work really closely with our design team, our engineers, our developers. We have people that do product testing for us. So I kind of, I'm sort of the leader of the crew, and I help sort of manage the creation process, which can be very complicated. It takes about 2 years to build a shoe. So it's quite the lengthy process, but I am kind of there to help us make sure that we're making kind of the right decisions along the way based off of what the consumer is asking for. So I'm in charge of kind of briefing a project. I kick things off. I kind of outline who our consumer is for a certain shoe. What are the problems we need to solve? What are the key benefits that we want to deliver to the athlete? And the opportunity that we have. So it's almost sort of like creating a blueprint for the project. And then from there, it's really kind of up to us as a collective team to start building and ideating and designing and testing and working with athletes along the way to kind of bring that brief and that vision to life. So yeah, it's a really, really fun job, but I work with like an incredible group of people that all are just so talented and are such experts in their particular field. So it really does kind of take a village to bring a shoe to life. But I think am really proud of the fact that I kind of get to be like the voice of the consumer and get to be the kind of the person to make sure that we're making all the right decisions along the way based off of what is best for runners.
With a project like the Nike Structure 26, how many people touch that project, do you think, like as an estimate, before we see it on our shelf in store?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, like I said, there's a group of about like 8 to 10 of us that are really kind of obsessing the shoe and building it collectively together. But then the shoe also does go through rounds and rounds of testing. So we have, anywhere from like 40 to 50 runners in a test at a given time. And usually shoes will go through about 3 to 4 rounds of long-term testing before we kind of get to that final product. So it's a lot of people. It's a big process, but it's there's a process for a reason to make sure that the shoe is sort of hitting the standard and what the athlete expects.
Okay. So the Nike Structure is a stability shoe. How's Nike defined the concept of support over the years since like they started making shoes in the 70s?
Yeah, I mean, support is a term that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but I think what we continue to stand for is support means a combination of cushioning and stability. And I think for Nike, it has the way that we kind of deliver that support has evolved over the years. And, for a shoe like the Structure that's been around for multiple decades, right? We're on the 26th version. So it's a legacy model for us. It's been around for many years. There's been a lot of different ways that we've sort of delivered that support. And I think for a long time, the Structure kind of had a pretty traditional form of stability, as I'm sure you know. I mean, I would say probably up until like the 23rd or 24th version. All versions prior to that were, what I would deem probably a little bit more traditional in a sense of like we were using just firmer materials, more rigid materials, posts, if you will, foot bridges, that sort of thing to provide that stable benefit. Which I think worked, right? Like it worked for its intent of helping to stabilize the foot and kind of restrict motion at the foot and ankle. But
Sorry, can I just, this is a
yeah,
good conversation, I think, because a lot of people, they hear support and they hear stability, but they don't quite understand what that means, like from a mechanical perspective. So what is a support shoe trying to achieve?
yeah. So a support shoe is essentially trying to kind of slow both the rate and range of ankle eversion, which means sort of if this is your foot, it's sort of that inward rotation that happens as you kind of impact the ground, right? And that's a pretty natural motion for the foot as you step down, your arch kind of rolls inward. It's a natural shock absorber, so it sometimes can sound like like eversion is a negative thing, but it's very natural. But there are individuals who do excessively overpronate, maybe beyond like what we would deem sort of a normal range. And so that term is overpronation. So yeah, stability shoes are essentially designed to help control some of that motion that happens. Um, but I think, again, there's been a lot of things that we've sort of learned over the last like 26 versions of Structure, and the way that we deliver that support and how much motion we want to control has changed. So we can kind of talk about that a little bit more in a second. But yeah, kind of at a fundamental fundamental place. That's essentially what a stability shoe is doing, is helping to guide some of that ankle eversion, or that inward rotation, that motion that naturally happens at the lower leg.
Yeah, perfect. And the Structure 26 takes like an innovative approach to achieving that.
Yeah. So, like I said before, old versions of structure were, I would say, just pretty restricting of any sort of that natural motion, or that excessive motion for some. And I think the way we were doing that was just using harder, more high density materials, right? If you're using a foam that's quite a bit firmer or less dense, it's not going to move as much. So it's going to help kind of, again, guide some of that motion. But I think what we've sort of learned is that those forms, of course, did work to build that stability, but it also did sacrifice some other things that are important to building a great running experience, but also sacrifice some things that we have learned do help, I think, holistically keep people healthy, that being cushioning and a smooth transition from heel to toe. So what we've been able to do over the last few years is really kind of obsess and relook at the way that we're designing support. We've moved away from using more high density foams or rigid materials, and we are now using softer materials, but building that stability in through geometry. So it's really about, again, manipulating the shape and the contours of the midsole to help create some of that guidance. So that way you're still getting that stability, but we don't have to use hard materials that maybe don't feel as comfortable. We can use softer foams that have really good cushioning properties, that are better at like protecting you from those impact forces as you hit the ground. And they also do help to create just a smoother, more natural ride from heel to toe. Again, if you're using a firmer foam, it's probably going to feel a little bit more slappy, or just less smooth. So now we can do it in a way where we're sort of able to balance everything across support, cushioning, and transition. So it's just a really, I think, nice evolution of where we've been before. And we've gotten to a place where, the support doesn't have to sacrifice comfort, which is what we're really excited about in the new structure, which I have right here. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, you mentioned like softer foams, firmer foams. How do you get the balance between providing enough stability, but not being too, I guess, rigid or slappy, like you mentioned? Like, how do you find the balance point? Because every shoe is different. We know that from your range.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really helps to leverage some of the resources that we have internally to test this product. We have the Nike Sports Research Lab on campus, where we can work with biomechanists and people that can measure and look at how much or how the shoes are performing in terms of that rate and range of ankle eversion. So that really does sort of help guide us there. But yeah, when we look at the midsole, one of the things that we've learned is that if you're not using more firm foams, what we can do to create that stability with using softer foams is creating a little bit of like a wider base. That's been something that's made a pretty big difference. So you'll notice in the structure, it's got a pretty wide forefoot, midfoot, and heel net, right? So that's going to help create a little bit more of that stability. We've also learned just through like sidewall geometry that can make a pretty big difference. So you'll see in the shoe here, it is sort of wrapping up in kind of those key areas where where we see a little bit more motion, right? So kind of the back of the heel on the lateral side, and then the medial side here. We're kind of deeming this our midfoot support system to help just help runners kind of understand what this is and what it does. But it's not a firmer material. It just kind of wraps up around the arch to kind of help create some of that guidance there. And then I think another thing too is just, again, going back to like sidewall geometry. You'll see, especially on the medial side, the midsole kind of is more of a concave shape, this sort of outward, more rounded shape. Even stuff like that just kind of helps create less like compression in the foam, makes a pretty big difference in providing that stability. So those are kind of things we've learned along the way and we've implemented into the structure. So yeah, it's been really, really critical, but really exciting that we can use a great foam like React X. That's the foam we're using here in the Structure 26. It's a pretty soft foam, but by manipulating that geometry and really kind of obsessing all of the different areas, sidewall, net, even the stack height as well, can really help to make sure that we're still providing a more stable ride, especially in comparison to some of our neutral shoes in the line.
Yeah. All right. So I'd say over the last probably, well, whenever the minimalism kind of concept came into the equation, and everyone started to maybe look a little bit more in depth about why they were wearing certain shoes and how the industry approaches support, there was a period where support shoes really got ostracized, and the industry sort of moved away, or not so much moved away, but they started to lessen the control elements from the
Yep.
shoes. Potentially too far for some of the models out there, because we in store noticed that there was a certain population that craved the feeling of support. Whether they required it from a mechanical perspective is a different story, but they loved the feeling of being supported in a shoe, and they love feeling stable on the ground. The other thing was that those that pronated a lot may not have got injured, but their shoes wore out really quickly. The medial side of the shoes compress greatly. So are those sorts of things that Nike look at to be potential benefits of a stability shoe as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen kind of the same thing. Just going back to feedback you've heard from runners coming into the store, that whether or not they overpronate or don't overpronate, there's some people that just love that feeling of a more supportive shoe underfoot. Maybe they prefer something that feels a little bit firmer than what you're getting in the more maximal range. Or they just like that feeling of stability. So we've seen the same thing, and I think that's what we're focused on continuing to serve is those people that do either prefer that sensation, or also do know that they overpronate, and that has just historically worked for them in keeping them healthy. So that's who we're kind of focused on serving here. And I think the great thing about the structure is that even though it is softer than older versions, it still is providing great support. And I think that's the beauty of it. So I think I would want to share with people that, don't be afraid if it feels softer than maybe, older versions of structure. It still is like that. That's how it's designed. It's designed to still give you really great cushioning and not sacrifice that, but also provide that really good kind of guidance system if there is any sort of excess motion happening. And it's still going to feel pretty stabilizing underfoot. It's not going to be as soft and as tall as what we're delivering in the Vomero silo. That is, it's going to be still a different experience. You're still going to have pretty good ground feel, and you're not going to feel super high off the ground. It's just a little bit of a softer foam again that does help give you good impact protection and help smooth out that transition. So it just feels holistically like a more comfortable and just a more fun experience to run in.
Yeah, and so the customer walks into a Nike store, looks at the silos on the wall. Are they going to classify themselves in the structure silo, the Vomero silo, or the Pegasus silo? So more specifically, are they a structure person? Is this the shoe for them forever?
Yeah, I mean, I think for some people that might be true, right? Like I think especially in the stability category, we see a lot of people say, you know what, like I've tried running in different types of shoes in the more neutral space, and that doesn't work for me. Like stability is what I have to do all of my miles in. But I think there's also a lot of runners that have a rotation of footwear. And there's a lot of runners that have seen a lot of benefit from that, right? Like changing their shoes up just based off of what the objective of the run is for that given day. A lot of our elite athletes do this, they're more like faster training shoes, plated shoes, all of that for their workouts. But then they have, 3 to 4 different daily trainers that they might rotate through, again, depending on the run, how their body's feeling. We do hear a lot of elite athletes say like, hey, there's some days where, I'm a little bit more sore after a hard workout, or they're maybe just coming off an injury. So they've incorporated the structure into their rotation, or, hey, I've going out for a long run, or it's just an easy run. It's maybe second run of the day. Something like the Vomero feels really good just to have something more cushy and soft and comfortable on the foot for that given day. So I think we're serving everyone, right? Like if you have one shoe that works for you and that's what you want, then like, of course we have pretty clear, distinct silos that kind of help guide you in that. And there are three key they're grounded in three key benefits, timeless benefits that we know runners are really familiar with and typically looking for. But also it's a choice conversation too, right? We have a choice of different benefits. So you can find what's right for you, or you can use, all three shoes for different purposes in what kind of works for you and what your running goals are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember a video of when Galen Rupp was sort of maybe like 2015, and he was doing a workout in the Nike structure on a treadmill. And I think that blew a lot of people's minds because they might have thought support shoes were for entry level runners, or whether they had sort of awkward
Right.
gaits, that kind of thing. And then he was doing all his running in this structure. And I remember like changing my perspective on it immediately, going, okay, like the best runner at the time was wearing the structure.
Totally. Yeah. And even today, you'll see, I don't know if you're familiar with like Cole Hawker and Cooper Tier, two like US distance athletes that are crushing it right now. They love the structure. Cooper in particular has tested the structure 26, and he used to do a ton of running in the structure 25. So yeah, it's been interesting to kind of see, I think because support has evolved and it's not quite as rigid and controlling as it used to be, like there are more people that can run in the structure and find kind of a different benefit from it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see, and does, I think, hopefully open up people's minds to how they can use different shoes for different purposes.
Yep. All right. And this one, not sure how much you can speak to this, but there's two spots sitting on the structure silo that we haven't seen yet. How does sort of Nike, I guess, fill those support category upper echelon kind of spots?
Yeah, so we have the Structure Plus. So I'm really excited for that one. But in terms of just kind of like how we're looking at the silo, I think, we feel we've found the right amount of stability in the structure. So, and again, it's really all about creating, a guidance system that isn't about over controlling motion. We want to still be able to allow for some level of natural motion, but it's a little bit more about just sort of guidance. And we feel like we found a really good recipe with the structure 26. So when we kind of look to build up the silo, it's not really going to be so much about offering a range of different levels of stability, but rather offering just choice and experience that within the stability silo. I mean, at least for Nike, for a long time, we only had like one stability option for runners. So it was either you like the structure or you don't. But now we're going to be able to offer, in the distant future, three structures that have different sensations underfoot, to just be able to finally offer the stability consumer more choice. So yeah, you're not going to get more stability as you go up. It's going to be a consistent level of support. But what you are going to get is a feeling underfoot of more cushioning, more energy return, lighter experience. That's all I can say right now, but it's going to be really, really exciting, I think, for people that need support to just be able to have more choice. Yeah, I think the Structure Plus is going to be a really, really fun ride for people. So I'm excited to get that one in the market soon.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for chatting about the Nike Structure 26, Ashley. And we might hear from you again shortly.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.